guys. Today we are going live again with a triathlete. His name is Matt, and he has been doing triathlons for a very long time. And I'm excited to bring him out from an athletic standpoint because we are going to be talking about the water, obviously. But as a triathlete, you have to be well hydrated and you have to keep your energy levels up and you have to recover quickly. So I'm excited to bring my friend Matt out. He just got his machine. He's from California. And let me just go ahead and request him. The mouth of a triathlete himself. So, okay, invite. There he is.
What's up, Nikki?
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Looks like we both got the hat memo today.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just got out of the pool not too long ago, so I was like, just throw a cap on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that what you did? You trained in the pool this morning?
Yeah, I just did like a pool swim this morning. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I got going on today. I'm gonna rest the rest of the day. I don't have any races coming up, so I'm just kind of doing it like leisure on the weekend. Just no really programming, just for like the enjoyment. It was a really nice morning.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
would let everyone know that you've done triathletes for a long time. Can you just introduce yourself and let everybody know, your background and
Yeah.
where you're from, stuff like that?
Yeah, my name's Matt. So I grew up in San Diego. So triathlon has like a really big community in San Diego, and I kind of got into it just because my dad does it a lot, and it was kind of a natural. I got that endurance. I was doing pretty well when I was younger, but in the last like 10 years, I've been like really focused on doing it, and I kind of got to the level where I wanted this past year. So, I mean, it's great, like for me, my dad building relationship because we would always race together, we would travel together. So it was really good. And right now I work full time. I'm a psychiatric social worker, so I'm dealing with a lot of patients coming in. And like this water has been like such a game changer as far as like how I feel throughout the day, and as far as like any of my endurance, like my long runs or swims, it's been definitely I can definitely feel like the difference in it.
That's
So,
amazing. So you've been doing triathlons for over 10 years then? Like
so
ever
my
since?
first, so my first race, I was like 18. I was in high school, and it was like a Hell Week for water polo, and we did like a triathlon like to end like Hell Week, and I won it, and I was like, okay, that was like pretty easy. And then I just started doing it here and there since from college, just here and there, and then 10 years ago, that's when I got really started. Okay, I'm doing a little bit better. I'm winning my divisions and trying to take it a little bit more seriously. It's like past like couple years, I got a coach,
Mhm.
and I compete in nationals every year, and like you have to, if you want to do well in a nationals to go to world championships, you have to place in a certain percentile. So I was able to do that last year, and then I was just recently in Spain for world championships in
Wow.
September. So it was like all worth it. Now I'm kind of okay. Now I'm just gonna stretch and hang out for a little bit because I still enjoy the sport,
Yeah.
because it's still because I've been doing it for so long, and it's great. Like in California, it's beautiful just to kind of get that runner's high or swimming. So it's great.
Yeah, and so for like people who don't really know what triathletes do, can you explain a little bit about like what it is that you guys have to do, like the type of training, but also like what a normal like competition would look like for you?
Yeah. So triathlon, it's swimming, biking, and running in that order. There's different distance. There's a sprint, there's an Olympic distance, you have the half Ironmans, the full Ironman. So those are the usually ones that are like a lot longer. But a sprint distance is like a 400-meter swim or like a 750-meter swim, depending if it's like a sanctioned race. And then you do a 10-mile bike ride and then a 5K. And then the Olympic distance, which is the one that I've been doing, it's 1,500-meter swim, a 40K bike, which is around 24 miles, and then a 10K run, which is 6.2. So that's roughly around like 2 hours. So that's the one that I was comfortable at. The half Ironmans and Ironmans range from like 8 to 17 hours, depending on
Wow.
like your level. So those were, I only did one, and I was like, okay, that's a lot of time to commit to training. So with that, I would try. So my average on like my peaks training schedule is averaging around like 20 hours a week on top of working full time. So it was a lot on my plate. So,
Ah,
but that's a discipline: swim, bike, run.
cool. And
Yeah.
so before you got the water, like what was kind of your protocol when it came to performance and recovery?
I was so oh my God, I was just drinking normal water from like Whole Foods. I would get like my element salt packets. And I just like discovered an element maybe like not even like a year ago. So I was just drinking we have like a local bike shop, and you just have just like electrolyte, just like your standard electrolyte, the Noom electrolyte drinks. And I would just like drink them. I didn't really like feel anything. I just did it because I knew that my body had to do it. There has been like certain races where I would get that lactic acid, and I had to walk on a race, and I was just like not hydrating well, or I was hydrating enough, but I was not. I don't know what it was, but after like switching this water, I feel like I haven't even had any of that kind of like lactic acid feel. My intensity is dialed down a lot more, but I feel great. I don't have any aches or pains because I was getting a lot of knee pains over the last like maybe a couple years, and it's definitely been beneficial a lot so far.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I think like a lot of people think like Gatorade and sports
Oh
drinks.
yeah. I've never been like I never like drink Gatorade just because like there's a lot of sugar in it, and I can like definitely feel it in my stomach. And you don't want to have any kind of like stomach pains when you're like out on a race or running, because it's not fun at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I know. I grew up playing soccer and I played
Yeah.
soccer in college, and nobody ever really told you anything about nutrition and how that can help with your performance and recovery and what you should be drinking. And I always just thought like Gatorade was the thing. And
Yeah.
I would drink Gatorade, but I would also drink water, and honestly, like, don't even know what kind of water I was drinking. Probably like bottled water to some degree.
Yeah.
And whatever the water it was that they filled up the big jugs with, which you have no idea like where that water came from, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, it's crazy how we grow up thinking like these things, but it's all like marketing and advertising, right? That's what it,
Yeah.
you know? And so when I learned about Gatorade and sports drinks, like having lots of sugar in them, just like really not hydrating you at all, being acidic, because I've
Hmm.
tested some of these
Oh
sports,
yeah.
and when you put the pH drops in them, they're acidic. So it's like, how the heck is this supposed to support me in any way to function
Yeah.
during performance,
Yeah.
right?
That's
So,
right.
um, and for those of you that don't know, like anything that's acidic drives more inflammation and disease inside the body. And so it's just funny how like people are like, oh, you have like muscle cramps, this and that, like drink Gatorade. And it's like, no, you don't want to be doing that at all.
Yeah.
But that's really awesome. So how long have you had the machine out, and like what are some really significant things you've noticed from drinking the water?
So I've had it. So this will be my third week having it. And just to kind of go back a little bit, because I remember like one of our first conversations, because I would always just want like sparkling water like right after a run, and it's just like I'm craving just because it's like carbonated, or I don't know if it's carbonated, but it was like so refreshing. And then I saw the demo video, and I was like, oh my God, like all the acidity in that. I was like, I haven't touched it. I haven't even like thought about it since. And I was completely just like broke up with like sparkling water. And it's a great decision. I mean, because I never even noticed it. And like there's like water, like all this like different like how acidic it is. It was mind blowing. That what kind of got me the most interest in it.
Yeah.
And when I first started drinking it, because I would drink it at the 9.5, and like the first couple of days, I would have like the most like natural energy throughout the entire day. Like work was like I was really focused at work. Limited my four-letter words commuting from traffic, not cursing anymore, because you know the LA traffic that you used to
Mm-hmm.
live
Oh,
here.
yeah.
So like my mood has definitely been a lot more positive and like focused and motivated. Motivation has been like the biggest trait that I've been kind of experiencing with it. Just like ready like for the day, just like excited for the day.
Yeah.
My sleeps are so much better. I don't toss and turn. I usually just like toss and turn all night, and I'm having a lot better, deeper sleep. And I wake up naturally. I wake up because I'm a pretty early riser. I get up like maybe like 5:30, and I'm naturally waking up without like an alarm.
Yeah, that was
So that yeah, so that's kind of like the biggest difference. But that my focus and energy is the entire day, and it's not like if I have a glass like before bed, I'm gonna like stay up or it's gonna give me that kind of energy. I'm able to still like fall asleep pretty quick.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
For me, like the first week or two, I same thing with like the sleep. And when I had gotten my machine, my son was probably around 2.5 at the time. So he was still kind of waking up multiple times throughout the night.
yeah,
And even with that happening, like I felt like I was getting a deeper sleep. And because I was getting a deeper sleep, I was able to rise without an alarm and like feel completely energized and ready for the day. And I was like,
right.
because normally I'd be like, I'm dying,
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
can't function. But
yeah.
I mean, it was literally a game changer. And like mom brain, all of that stuff went away. Like you said, you're able to focus more. And that was me too. And, not having that like brain fog of like forgetting things,
Mhm.
it's just the alertness is there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's really cool to hear.
Yeah.
And tell people like a little bit about what you do for work currently.
So, like, I'm a psych social worker. So we deal with specific the population that come in for any kind of suicide ideations that they don't feel safe by themselves or they feel like they might harm someone else. So they come in. It's all voluntary basis. They are not on a 51. They're on a 5150 first, and then once they're cleared through like our ER, they voluntarily come to our unit. So we help them with placement with any kind of like rehabs or skilled nursing facilities. Adults ranging from 18 to 85. So we try to. The majority of the population is homeless, people that have like drug history, drug issues. So we work with them, just trying to find them the next place to go to after the hospital versus just going on the streets. But some people choose to go back. It's a tricky lifestyle that they live, and it's kind of we do what we can, and we're always giving not just a second and third chance. We always just open the door to see if we can help them. And I mean, we feed them just like normal distilled water and like everything. I was like, I wonder if I can give my patients like this water to see how like their medication reacts or how they would like
Yeah.
feel. So,
Yeah. Is
um,
it work in like a clinic or is it a
it's in a hospital. Yeah,
hospital?
it's a hospital. Yeah, it's a hospital in Culver City. If anyone's in from LA, it's in downtown Culver City. We have medical floors. We have all acute rehab, and we have a psych floor. Is where I work at.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, we have literature on the water being able to help, create new neural pathways in the brain. So I wonder if that would be like something that you could potentially bring to, the hospital and just be like,
Yeah,
I have this incredible machine and, the water, I could definitely see it helping our patients and
yeah,
just like for to them that way because I feel like most of the time it is because we're chronically dehydrated and if your brain is dehydrated the rest of your body can't function properly, right? It's like I can only imagine like what kind of difference that would make for your patients
yeah. Oh
having
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
but
I've definitely thought about that.
yeah, I wonder if like you could even just bring in gallons and be like
Yeah,
starting a new experiment here.
yeah.
you
Because
know
I mean, they have like little distilled, little fountains, and like they have like places where you can like put it, but it's
yeah
like, I don't know if everyone's gonna break it or I don't know. We'll see.
I got to be tricky with that. You could probably just like bring back like load bags up and bring it or
Yeah, yeah,
but you should definitely bring your pH drops next time and like show them how acidic the distilled
yeah,
water. That's
yeah.
helping them.
Oh,
It's
for sure.
hurting
Yeah,
more, but that's amazing. So with the whole like business side of things now, like I know you're excited about getting into it because obviously you love helping people, and this is just like been something that's like completely blown your mind in the whole realm of just like health in general. So
Right.
speak to a little bit more of like why you wanted to get involved in, the business side and like the community.
I mean, the community, I didn't know how supportive the community was, and it just like there's so much support on like the back end with like the community, and I'm learning so much. Like the what motivates me most is hearing the testimony, like the health testimonies, and people that are making a living on like the business side, just doing it just like part time, and that was very interesting on my end because I like what I do, and I love sharing the water. I love talking about it. I'm starting to get. I remember when like one of our first conversations, like, oh yeah, I could be all nerdy and like talk about it. Like I was like starting to feel like, oh yeah, the pH levels, hydrogen, all the molecules breaking down. I was like, oh my god, I sound like Nikki. Yeah. So it's like I love sharing it because I know because it just makes me feel so good, and I want like my friends and family to feel good too.
Yes.
And that is like the biggest motivator for me is just like I want my circle to feel good. I want people, families, I want them to feel good.
Yeah.
And on the business side, being rewarded for that, it's such a great opportunity.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited for the future and like for the times to come for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to touch base on that, because you make such a great point, is like it's not even like you're selling anything. You're legit sharing something that makes you feel good and you
Yeah,
want family to feel good. It's an organic, expression of what it is that you're already feeling. So,
yeah,
and that happens too. Like we get a lot of people that get the machine just for the health benefits. They want to, improve their quality of life. And then all of a sudden they can't shut up about it, just like you. And
yeah,
and they
yeah.
share it with everybody. It's just a natural byproduct of what will happen when you start drinking this water and using it for various other things. So
Right.
in going into that a little bit more, have you used the machine for anything other than drinking?
I use it. I adjusted pH levels for. I use it for mouthwash. I used it one time for like a melatonin with the strong acidic.
Mm-hmm.
That helped a lot. I used it for cleaning. I tested out for like laundry the other day, and I was like, okay, yeah, these are clean. It works.
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, but I drink at least. I probably drink like a little more of a gallon because it's so easy to drink, and I've always had the habit of like drinking a gallon a day. Just when I was like doing all my rigorous training, just because like I need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like no bloating. There's nothing like that. Actually I feel hydrated. It's crazy. Like this is what you're supposed to feel like when you're hydrated.
Yeah.
So
I It's crazy because people like they feel like they're hydrated. Like I talk to
yeah,
people who are like, "Oh, I drink tons of water. I'm good." But you still have like little aches and pains here and there, or you have maybe some things that you've lived with for a long time that you don't even realize isn't normal. And then you
hmm,
drink water and you're like, "Whoa, this is like a whole new world." Like I'm
yeah,
and so
yeah,
that's really cool that you're experiencing that and sharing it with others too.
yeah.
Yeah, so awesome. Well, I appreciate your time. I thank you so much for hopping out.
Oh, thanks for chatting with me. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions for Matt about anything water or like training related, you can go ahead and reach out to him. I'll leave his contact info below. But really appreciate you, and I'm excited to work with you. I'm excited to see where this business goes for you and
Yeah,
how
me too.
lives you're going to impact. I think
Yeah.
you're gonna make a huge difference there. So
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you. You're a great leader. You're very intelligent, and I look up to you. So I'm glad our paths cross, and like this is such a great adventure and I'm really excited for it. So I appreciate you so much.
thank you so much.
No
All right,
problem.
enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too.
Hit us up if you have any questions, you guys, and we'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye.